All right, guys, welcome to a new video where I'm going to be going over every team that's in the playoffs still with a chance at the World Cup, UEFA and Intercontinental, picking one player to feature and to watch from each of these nations. I've already started posting some of these over on my TikTok, so make sure you guys go check that out if you have not already. But all of them are going to be in here from the playoffs, so let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, so first up, I want to talk about the UEFA playoffs, and we'll start right from A. We'll go with Wales to start. I've got Harry Wilson. He is 28 years old. He's at Fulham, former Liverpool player, and I think he is a key player for Wales, and he will be key in these playoffs. He's having a great start to the season. He's in fantastic form at the moment, and quite honestly, he's proving that he is a good World Cup caliber player and a good Premier League caliber player. He's got a terrific left foot. He's fun to watch. His set piece technical ability is through the roof. He makes Wales very dangerous on set pieces. If they hold stout defensively, they get some set pieces no matter who it's against. They are dangerous. His ability to put a ball in is phenomenal, or even take free kicks at goal, have an effort on goal. Brilliant stuff. I remember when he was on loan at Derby County from Liverpool, scored a worldie at Old Trafford in one of the cups. I mean, he's fantastic. He's also become a very important player for Wales on that right-hand side. 67 caps, 17 goals already, and he's going to be very dangerous throughout. And in my opinion, he is Wales' player to watch. Now, over to Bosnia and Herzegovina. I've got Amar Dedic. He's 23-year-old fullback. He's currently playing at Benfica in Portugal, and he can play on the right or on the left. He can play on both sides. And quite honestly, this is a player that especially if you're in the football manager world, but really just youth prospect world, you'll probably know the name. He was pegged to be a very good right back. He's still 23, still has room to grow and become a very good right back. But honestly, a lot of people probably thought he would have already been in the likes of the Premier League, La Liga or something already, and he is yet to get that move. He's been at Benfica for a little bit. He struggled at Salzburg at times, so now he's starting to find his footing in a better league with Benfica. He's got 24 appearances this season. He's playing consistent minutes most games, and he's just become an important player, and he's also started to become a more important player for Bosnia and Herzegovina. He's got 24 appearances for the national team. And in my opinion, getting out of this pathway is going to be very tough for Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I mean, you figure they got Wales. They also have Italy if they get to the final. So it's going to be tough. They need to be strong defensively and organized. And especially if he plays left back for Bosnia, which he has at times, then he'll be coming against Harry Wilson. And so that'll be a great battle. And I think he will be key to lock things down defensively. And he likes to get forward, likes to venture forward. And so they'll rely on him to hold defensive ground, but also if they have a chance to counter, go forward, create something, get a little bit of a chance there for his forwards. Next, I've got Italy. I keep going back and forth on this, and honestly, I'm just going to say Nicolo Barella. You know, this whole video is supposed to be picking players that aren't as notable necessarily. You won't expect to be picking, but in my opinion, I think Nicolo Barella is a world-class midfielder. I think he's one of the best midfielders in the world, and I feel like he's just not given that kind of credit. So that's why I've gone for him. He's 28 years old. He plays for Inter Milan. He's got 68 caps, and he will just be massive. Italy have not made the World Cup in years. I think this is 12 years since they've been, so they have to go back to the World Cup this year. Has to be. So he's going to be absolutely massive for them. 2 World Cups in a row without making it. Like I said, Barella now at his prime has to make it with Bastoni behind him. But in terms of a young player to watch, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say look out for Francesco Pio Esposito. Also at Inter Milan, he's 20 years old. He has been pegged as a top prospect really since he was about 15, 16 years old. And he's finally starting to show it with Inter, and he's made 5 appearances for the Italian national team, and he already has 3 goals. He's a big guy. I think he's like 6'2" or so. He's a big guy. So very dangerous up front there. Young, So hopefully he finds his footing as a consistent top league player and striker for the Italian national team. So I've kind of cheated a little bit with Italy. Pick two, Francesco Pio Esposito and Nicolo Barella. Now for Northern Ireland, I could have gone Connor Bradley, but I've decided to go with Justin Devaney. And quite honestly, one of the reasons I chose him, I just did not even realize he was Northern Irish. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's just because Crystal Palace or what, but I thought he was English, but he's Northern Irish. And he's 22 years old. Again, like I just said, he plays for Crystal Palace. Central midfielder, can go forward, can sit back, can kind of range anywhere in there. And I think this is a huge moment in his development. He's kind of struggled for consistent, serious minutes at Palace in their first team this year. He's made plenty of appearances, but just has not been lengthy appearances. So he's slowly getting in. He's 22, and he needs senior team football consistently. And I think this is a big moment for him. He can get a loan move out or anything, but he's 22. This is a big moment to really get that experience, to lead them into future Euros qualifications and future World Cup qualification stages. They've got a lot of younger players, 22, 23, 24-year-olds that can be around for a good bit for Northern Ireland. So I think he's going to be crucial. He's going to have a massive, massive task in that first round against Italy. I just mentioned Barella, so you figure he's going to have an absolute tough time in the midfield. And if Northern Ireland just get absolutely dominated in that midfield, it's going to be over. It's just a matter of time for Italy. So he's going to be key for any bit of success that Northern Ireland have in this playoff round, especially that first game against Italy. Now on to UEFA B. We'll start with Ukraine. I've gone with Georgi Sudakov. They've got a solid defense, Ukraine does. They've got Ilya Zabarny back there, former Bournemouth player, now at PSG. He's good, but they still are scoring goals in a good amount of. They score a good amount of goals. It's simple as that. And there's a very open chance anyone in this pathway in UEFA B can get through. You got Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, Albania. Any of them really can get through. You would think on paper it would be Sweden, but they've had a tough time recently. So Ukraine, you cannot count them out, and a big reason is Sudakov. Plays attacking midfielder, can play on the wide left, but he's mostly an attacking midfielder in the central. All the teams are going to be pushing for goals. I don't think anyone's going to really just sit back and just absorb pressure. I don't think anyone's going to do that. And I think Sudakov is a big player for Ukraine, and in this pathway, he's already got 29 appearances, 4 goals, 4 assists for Benfica alone. He's 23. He's got a lot of talent, hardworking, grindy midfielder that you need. I've watched him in Champions League, Europa League over the last couple of years. I've seen him playing, and just a solid player. Nothing flashy at times, but he gets the job done, and he produces. He's got a lot of talent, and it's going to be a very, very important position, especially in the center of the park. He's got to help, but he also likes to make somewhat late runs in there, get back on cutbacks. So I think it'll be interesting to watch him play and see how he navigates through this playoff round. He got 4 goals, 32 appearances for Ukraine, and I think recently his consistent minutes in qualifying will transfer to the playoffs, and I think he'll be a key part. And somebody just keep an eye on, see what happens, see what kind of influence he has in these opening rounds, because it's going to be a very interesting playoffs. And they will come against Sweden. So Sweden is next in B, and I've gone with Lucas Bergvall. This a very interesting team with Sweden. They've really struggled in qualifying. The Nations League is why they're in these playoffs. They got a lot of young players. There's a couple guys that I would have gone with, but they're injured, and I'm not, their injury return date kind of on TransfrMarket was saying unknown. So, I don't know if they'd even be back. But I've gone with Bergvall, 19, Spurs, midfielder, can play really attacking, box-to-box, or as a 6. Much more of a box-to-box in my opinion. They've got 2 very good strikers. They're struggling to get supplied, Sweden. And I just think Bergvall is going to be a very key player, working up and back, helping to connect the defense to the attack. Done very well for Spurs. Very jealous of how he's done. As a Liverpool fan, he's just looked brilliant. And quite honestly, he is a player that I'm very excited to see his future. Because yeah, I mean, I really enjoy watching him play. Solid. Again, at times he has technical ability through the roof, but he's just nothing flashy at times. Just if he's got to grind, he'll grind. But if he's allowed to express himself on the ball, he will do that. And it really is a key player in my opinion, and I think he'll feature heavily in these playoffs, whether they get through or not. He's the future of their midfield, and I think he'll get a huge feature throughout, even if it's minutes off the bench. I think he'll be a key figure. Now for Poland, I've gone with Jakub Kaminski. He is a winger, 23-year-old winger, and I think with Robert Lewandowski getting up there in age and his final go-round in World Cup chance, I think you need to rely on their wingers for Poland to get supply to him to finish the ball. He's not going to be able to make a boatload of runs in behind or anything, and I think Kaminski is a very key part. Played a lot in qualifying, and he has really started to elevate his game as of late in league play and for the national team, and I think that's why I've gone with him as a winger. 23-year-old, he will continuously be around the World Cup for a while. And I mean, he's already got 27 caps. He's got 3 goals. He's got plenty of assists. He's gotten consistent minutes on the wing for Poland in qualifying, and he will have to step up again. Poland have struggled scoring goals over the last few years, and that's mostly due to supply to Lewandowski. So I think if they rely on the wings, they've got several good wingers, and I think Kaminski is probably the pick of the lot. And I think they have to play through Kaminski and go ahead, and they'll do all right. Now for Albania, I've gone with their star man, really, which should be their star man for the future, is Armando Broja. Former Chelsea guy, now Burnley striker. I think Albania is overlooked, honestly. I mean, they had a good campaign, and I think that they really are a solid team. In qualifying, they finished second, just behind England, and they finished above Serbia. The last Euros, they got grouped fair, but they lost to Spain and Italy by 1 goal, and they tied Croatia. So a good World Cup or a good Euros for them, their last go round. They beat Serbia. They lost 1 game in qualifying to England. They lost 2 games to England, but they didn't lose again. But they've struggled to score. They really have, and I think it's time for Broja to step up. He's really had a tough time so far in his early career. He's still only 24. Several big injuries. I think it was a torn Achilles, ACL, or a broken leg or something in there. So really struggled. Burnley, he's still yet to score. He's just really struggling, but he needs to step up. If Albania want to get through, they have to score goals. No matter how good they are defensively, and they're a good defensive, organized side, they have to spring forward. They have to put balls in the back of the net. He's got ability. He's got potential. The ability is there. I've seen it, but he just needs to get firing for Albania. He's got 6 goals and 33 appearances for the national team, and he really is hoping that March will bring more goals for him and for his nation. Now to UEFA C. This is the pathway that the U.S. will end up having: Slovakia, Kosovo, Turkey, Romania. We'll start with Slovakia. I've gone with David Hansko, 28-year-old center back with Atletico Madrid, formerly at Feyenoord. He's now been a regular for Atletico Madrid this season, and he just has to play consistent minutes and be a key factor for Slovakia if they want to go ahead and get through out of this pathway. No one in this pathway is going to be easy, if I'm being honest. I know I celebrated the U.S. in their draw, probably for the U.S., their best case scenario, but that doesn't mean it was the easiest draw. But they have to have a good, strong defense. Kosovo are a solid team, and Turkey are a very good team. So defense has to be strong for Slovakia. He's got plenty of experience. He's got 57 caps. So he needs to organize and lead that defensive line in March and be a key factor as to why they get through, because they just don't concede goals. Hopefully, for Slovakia's case, that's what happens. Now over to Kosovo. I've gone with Fishnik Aslani. I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. And again, Kosovo is a side that a lot of people are going to overlook, but this is a very good team. They lost 1 game in qualifying. That was just enough for them to miss out on automatic qualification. Their group was Switzerland, Sweden, Slovenia. So a good group, really, all in all. The only loss being to the Swiss. They drew them in the return leg as well. So, still a very good campaign. They beat Sweden. They beat Slovenia. I mean, this is a good team. Now, Aslani is a very important player for Kosovo, and he became very, very important in qualification. In the second game against Sweden, he scored the winner in a 1-0 game. Then he scored one of 2 goals in the away game at Slovenia. So 2 huge results for Kosovo to get them into second place and into these playoffs. He scored. He played consistent minutes. He's also only 23. He's an out-and-out striker. He's playing with Hoffenheim, and he's in form. He's got 7 goals in 16 appearances for Hoffenheim this season, and he's just the focal point for Hoffenheim. He's also just the key guy in the attack for Kosovo. And so if they want to ruffle a few feathers, I expect them, honestly, to get past Slovakia. I'm very high on this Kosovo side. And if they're going to cause any issues for someone like Turkey in that final, they're going to have to go through Aslani, and hopefully he gets some goals and shakes things up, and then they just stay organized in defense and get through and get into Group D of the World Cup. Now for Turkey, I've gone with Kenan Yildiz. A lot of people are going to be focused on Arda Güler, and understandable, but 20-year-old winger at Juventus is a star. In my opinion, honestly, I like Kenan Yildiz a lot better than Arda Güler, in my opinion. It's just from what I've seen. But yeah, I'm so high on Yildiz. Like I said, 20 years old, winger at Juventus. He's got 24 appearances, 9 goals, 8 assists for Juventus this season. And he doesn't even play all the time, doesn't start every game. So huge return for him. Again, like I said, Güler will get all the attention. But in my opinion, Yildiz is going to be your key guy for Turkey. I expect him to get through, and I expect him to get into Group D, and I expect him to cause a lot of issues. Obviously, Güler is going to cause them, but Yildiz, in my opinion, is going to be very tough as a winger, very tricky. Come inside, go down the byline, can go both ways, has a fantastic technical ability, has scored some screamers over the last couple of seasons, and yeah, Yildiz to the moon, in my opinion. I'm putting stock in him. I suggest you do the same, because Yildiz is going to be a star in this pathway. It's going to lead Turkey to the World Cup. Now, Romania. I've gone with Dennis Mann. He's a 27-year-old winger. He's at PSV in the Netherlands. He's got 11 goals in 43 appearances in his career with Romania. Played a lot this last qualifying campaign for Romania. PSV, he's got 4 goals, 5 assists, 16 appearances. He's done well in the Netherlands. He's a good winger, looking to get on the ball, get onto his left foot, very good left foot. And I think Romania are an interesting prospect, honestly, in these playoffs, because they finished 3rd in their group and are really only in here due to Nations League spots. But at the same time, I think that they're a better team than some people will peg them as by looking at that. But at the same time, I think all in all, Turkey will outclass them, and it will end up being probably 2-3-0 game. But if they were to get anything, get some goals, and cause any issues for Turkey, it has to be involving Dennis Mann, and he will be kind of their guy that they'll look to create a spark for Romania. Now on to UEFA Pathway D. Czechia, Ireland, Denmark, and North Macedonia in this pathway. Last UEFA pathway. First up, we're going to talk about Czechia. I've gone with Adam Karabec, I believe is how you pronounce his name. 22-year-old midfielder. He's on loan at Lyon, but he is going to be an option to buy from Sparta Prague in Czechia. Karabec, 4 appearances for them, got 2 goals already. He's started to work his way in, especially since getting to Lyon. He's made 18 appearances for them. He's got 2 goals. He's got 2 assists. He's starting to get more and more minutes now. He's 22, just coming from the Czech League, making the jump all the way to France and European football. So it's tough for that kind of a jump and to get that right away. But I think he's going to end up playing serious minutes, and I think he'll be super influential in this Czech attack, in this pathway. It is open. I very easily could see Czechia getting through, and they're starting to bring in more young guys like Karabec to mold with that experience of guys like Suchek and Kufal. So in my opinion, someone like Adam Karavec is going to be a very interesting player to watch, see what kind of minutes he gets. He's already had an influence for Czechia, and honestly, I expect him to start these games and play some serious minutes. Now, Ireland. They stole it from Hungary, and all due to Troy Parrott. I mean, what a performance from Troy Parrott. 23-year-old striker has etched himself into Irish folklore after that final day hat-trick against Hungary to earn the spot in the playoffs. Third goal, complete the hat-trick, 96th minute, whatever it was. An incredible game, 3-2 win. And he is a former Spurs prospect. Came from Spurs, didn't work out there. Now he plays AZ Alkmaar in the Eredivisie, and he's making an impact there. 8 goals, 10 appearances this season in the Dutch league. 15 goals in 19 appearances in all competitions for AZ. Brilliant start to his career in the Netherlands, and I think he's going to continue that and continue that hat-trick scoring form from that final day of qualifying into the playoff rounds. I think Ireland will have to have someone like him, along with Evan Ferguson, who has struggled over the last few years to kind of hit back at his potential. So Troy Parrott seems to be the guy that they've been going with consistently. 10 goals, 33 appearances for the national team, and I expect him to lead the line in a very kind of tough, interesting pathway. Anyone can get through. Czechia in the first round, most likely Denmark in the second round. So it's going to be tough, but they've got Parrott. Hopefully Parrott goes ahead, gets some goals, and if Ireland were to get through, it's going to be because Parrott gets on the score sheet, in my opinion. Now, Denmark, again, very interesting. They've had a lot of experience going out and a lot of youngsters coming in. This is a side on the final day that they lost to Scotland to lose that automatic spot to Scotland. They had some bad results in there. I think they drew at home to Belarus. They had another draw as well in there. But that's over. That's done with. They have to get through the playoffs. And one of the young guys I'm picking is Gustav Isaksen, 24-year-old winger. I'm pretty high on him. I remember him playing for Midtjylland in Denmark, and now he's at Lazio. He started to make a name for himself in the Danish national team. He's got 4 goals, 13 appearances. He's at Lazio now. He's only played 611 minutes. He had a couple injury issues. He's just working his way back from injury now. But he already does have 2 goals for Lazio. So I think he's going to be a key guy for Denmark as long as he's fit and healthy come the playoff time. I think he's somebody to watch on that right-hand side, creating some chances. You got Rasmus Højlund up front. So he needs some supply, not just straight balls. Just get some crosses in there for Højlund. And I think it's going to really be interesting for Isaksen. He can go down the right, prefers that left foot of his, come inside, have a hit. So, in my opinion, I would really like to watch Gustav Isaksen. Hope he plays, because I think he's going to be a good player for Lazio for the next few years. I don't think he's going to be a world-class superstar, but I think he's going to be a good player, and I think he can really have an impact for Denmark at these playoffs. Next, I've got North Macedonia, and I've got Elif Elmas. He's an attacking midfielder for Napoli. Been there a while now. He's been getting a lot more bench minutes this season for Napoli, but has done well. But for North Macedonia, he is one of their main guys, especially going forward. He's got 13 goals. He's got 75 appearances for North Macedonia in his international career. He's a creative midfielder, likes to really link up play, bringing the base of that midfield, those sixes, up with the forwards and the wingers. I think he's going to be really kind of a key guy for North Macedonia. It's going to be really tough for them, in my opinion. They made it to the Euros a few years ago, but it's going to be really hard to decide. It's kind of probably gone down since then, but they still have a guy like Elmas in there who has got big game experience, plenty of international experience, and if they want any hope of getting through to the World Cup, I think it's going to be through Elmas. Again, big underdogs. They got Denmark, then they have Ireland or Czechia, so it's going to be tough. But yeah, I think if they were to get through, it's going to be because Elmas has some serious contributions. Now, on to the Intercontinental Playoffs, where we will go with New Caledonia. I'm not going to sit here and act like I am an expert on New Caledonia. So I did a little bit of research, and I found that they do have somebody that is just transferring. I actually just saw it the day I'm recording this, I just saw that they just got a new switch in nationality switch player. I don't remember who it is, but kind of it plays with in the Saudi Arabian league, so a good player. But one of the guys that I've got in here is Georges Gope-Fenepe. Oh, I hope I said that right. I have no idea, but he had a really long spell where he just did not play for the national team. Really interesting, but recently he's been getting called up, especially for qualifying, played all the way through qualifying and played most of the minutes. 3 goals, 1 assist in those 5 games. So a huge performance. Most notably though, against Tahiti in the semifinals, where he was direct contribution of all 3 goals in that semifinal against Tahiti, getting, I think it was 2 goals, 1 assist. So key guy, he's 37 years old. He's playing in the French 4th division. So not some world-class, well-known player. But they lost that final to New Zealand, which was why New Zealand got the automatic spot. But just getting to the final and that performance got them here. It is going to be damn near impossible for New Caledonia to get through. They got Jamaica and then DR Congo. But it's a huge step forward for New Caledonia and their national team and their country. It's a mountain to climb for that small nation out of Oceania. But somebody, if there's going to cause little issues, it's going to be through Gope-Fenepe, in my opinion. Now on to Jamaica, I've gone with Damari Gray, former Premier League winger at Leicester City. Still only 29 years old. I thought he was honestly older than that, but he's still only 29. He's currently playing in the Championship with Birmingham City. 7 goals, 29 appearances for the national team. Someone like Mikel Antonio, not even really playing at all club football-wise. He's up there in age. They need their wingers, Bobby De Cordova-Reid, Damari Gray, to contribute. And especially considering Jamaica has been an absolute train wreck as of late, they really, really need Damari Gray to step up, get them past New Caledonia, and get them past DR Congo to get back to the World Cup for the first time in a long time. It's going to be tough, but in my opinion, if it's going to happen for Jamaica, it's going to be because of Damari Gray. Now, DR Congo, in my opinion, I think DR Congo is a very good team. I think they're very tough. And the guy I've got is, please pardon my pronunciation, I'm going to try my best, Ngal Ayel Macau, 21-year-old defensive midfielder. He's playing in the French Ligue 1 with Lille. He's got 6 caps for DR Congo, holding midfielder. He looks to be good. I've done some research on him. Looks to be quite a solid player. And DR Congo is a very tough team to break down. They're very solid. They're very strong. They beat Nigeria. I think they took down Nigeria and Cameroon in the African playoffs just to get here. So they're a tough team to break down. And they've got a lot of experience, especially in the defense. And then someone like Macau in that midfield will be really good. Nice, good size of him. I think he's like 6 foot tall or so. He's athletic, but he's also very technical. He's strong on the ball, can really help spray the ball, move the ball around. And I think he's going to be a very important player just to shield that defense, an extra line of defense there, especially if they get against Jamaica. Jamaica will be looking to run, and I think Macau will help shield that defense quite well, break up some of those counterattacks. And I think that they will get through, and I think they'll cause some issues as well in the World Cup. Another guy, just as a little tidbit, he's just switched his nationality to DR Congo, so I don't think he's even made his debut yet at the time of recording. But Mario Stroyekins, he is at Anderlecht in the Belgian Pro League. Someone I would actually remember from playing Football Manager. He's got some good potential, nice young winger. I expect him to start featuring some, even just off the bench. But he's somebody to keep an eye on, see if he comes on. You know, if you see him come on the pitch and see him play, just remember the name, Mario Stroyekins. I think he's just going to be a future player for DR Congo and a serious player. Now to IC2, Intercontinental Playoff 2. We're going to start with Bolivia, the side out of South America, CONMEBOL. Very strong, the Bolivian side. I think really one of the key things for them getting to these playoffs has been the atmosphere height at home games. It's a very, very tough one. They won't have that in these playoffs. but a tough side to break down. They're going to need the defense to really step up. So I've gone with Luis Haquin, 28-year-old center back, and he is the captain for Bolivia. Plays his club football in the second division of Saudi Arabia. And for Bolivia, he's got 49 caps. So a very consistent player for the Bolivian national team. And I think he'll be crucial in these playoffs just to have a nice, strong defense. This whole pathway, I don't see a lot of goals being scored. So really it's going to be whoever conceides the least. I know it sounds very obvious, but if you concede one goal throughout the whole playoffs, I think you'll be all right, or no goals. And I think Haquin is going to be a big guy for Bolivia just to keep them in contention. And he's their captain, so he needs to lead them. And that's why I've chosen Haquin here. Now for Suriname, I've gone with a more well-known name probably, but somebody that hasn't been really talked about too much is Geraldo Becker. He's 30 years old and he's Suriname's main man. He's a striker. He's now currently at Osasuna in La Liga, and he's yet to score. He's got one goal in all competitions. He's really struggled to start this season for Osasuna, and he really needs to step up. He's got 5 goals, 22 appearances for Suriname, and if they want any chance to get through, he needs to score. If a chance comes his way, not a lot of chances are going to come, but when a chance comes his way, he's got to put it in the back of the net. He's struggled to do that in the last few years. He has to do it. He's key. He's Suriname's guy, so he's going to be an absolutely crucial part of Suriname's success. I think they've kind of hit their ceiling in this cycle. It's a great ceiling to hit. I mean, Suriname, who would have thought they would be here? They're so close to qualifying automatically. So it's a huge step forward, but if their hope is still there, they've got Bolivia and then Iraq. They can get there. They just need goals, and it needs to come from Geraldo Becker. Now, for the last team in all the playoffs, we've got Iraq, and I have gone with Mohamed Ali. He's a key guy for Iraq. He has scored one of the goals in the Asian playoffs to secure this spot. The Asian playoffs against the UAE was 2-leg affair. He scored in the second leg, or the first leg, I think it was, to help secure a draw. Then they went on to win the second leg and get this spot. He's currently playing in the Arab Cup, where at the time of recording, he's got 2 goals in the group stage in 3 appearances. And so he's been a key player for them. Obviously, they're not going to be in AFCON. They're out of Asia, but they're playing in the Arab Cup. So he's got 2 goals already there. He's 25 years old. He's made 66 appearances for Iraq, and he's got 26 goals. He's their main striker. He's their main guy. He currently plays in the UAE First Division, so still a decent competition for Iraq's main guy. They're number 9. And if they want to get through, like I said, not a lot of goals are going to happen. But if someone's going to be getting the goals, it's going to be Ali. And in my opinion, Iraq is the dangerous side, and I expect it to come from him. If they were to get through and get some goals, cause some issues at the World Cup, I expect it to be through Mohamed Ali. But that's going to do it for the playoff teams. I've got 2 more videos. I'm splitting up all the qualified nations, 42 countries. That's too much for one video. So I'm going to split up into 2 videos, 2 parts. So make sure you guys are subscribed and ready for that. If you guys disagree, maybe you are from New Caledonia, you're a fan of New Caledonia or one of these other nations I already talked about, let me know who you think, in your opinion, is your star guy, or if you agree with me. But yeah, I'm learning a lot. I'm really excited for March and these playoffs. I'm really excited for things. And let me know if you guys are excited and if you guys are going to any of the World Cup games. But till next time, thank you.